Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic trend update. Israel shoots down Syrian fighter jet in the Golan Heights, and we are July 24, 2018. Scripture references out of Ezekiel 39, verse 2, and I will turn you about and drive you forward and bring you up from the uttermost parts of the north and lead you against the mountains of Israel. Well, here the mountains of Israel are. In the north, follow the cursor, where all the blue is, that would be the Golan Heights. We're going to zoom in a little tighter on the Golan Heights. Up here to the north and to the east is Damascus, not in the picture, but that's where it's located. Jerusalem is down to the south and to the west. Here's Nazareth. Sea of Galilee's right here, and in the blue is the Golan Heights. Now, this little area right in here, this is Q-Nitra, and this is where a lot of the discussion is taking place. Russian troops have been in there for quite some time. Iranian troops are reported to be in this area. This is also located in the UN Disengagement Observer Force, of course. Now, the largest peaks in Israel are located up in the Golan Heights. We'll reload that again. Little gremlin. The Syrian Air Force Sukhoi Su-22-24 fighter jet infiltrated about a mile into Israeli airspace before it was shot down after the IDF launched 2 Patriot missiles. Now, this is from a press release from the IDF spokesperson. The Syrian fighter jet fell in Syria. However, there are no reports of what happened to the Syrian pilot. Now, we have later learned, we go down here a little further, Omar Marie, the pilot of the downed Syrian Su-22-24, has been killed. So the IDF has no report of what's happened to the pilot, but other sources have confirmed that he has been killed. Now, the IDF monitored the path of this fighter jet before it was shot down. The Syrian Air Force Sukhoi Su-22-24 departed from the T4 air base in Syria and then flew towards Israel at a high speed. This happened after hours of increased internal fighting in Syria and increased Syrian Air Force activity. And the following is a quote. This is from Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus, head of the International and Social Media Branch of the IDF. And I quote, "We issued warnings and messages throughout different channels in various languages numerous times over the day to avoid any misunderstandings or any violations of Israeli airspace. We have continued to deliver messages through various channels, including through the UN, the UNDOF, and we will not tolerate any violation of the 1974 Separation of Forces Agreement. We hold the Syrian regime accountable for any such violations coming from the Syrian side." And again, that's Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus. He's head of the social media branch of the IDF. Now, this isn't the first time that something from Syria has wandered into Israeli airspace. I think it was just about a week, 10 days ago, we had some drones get in there, and they were shot down by a Patriot missile battery after flying into the demilitarized zone. Now, if you're interested, I have a link provided to the idf.il English, the press releases. So you can read this. It took most of it, probably half of it, from the IDF press release. And if you're interested, you can check it out. Also, we have the IDF. When they shot that down, there's a link provided to what happened on July 11th. The IDF targeted 3 military posts in Syria in response to the infiltration of a Syrian unmanned drone, effectively, that got into Syria. They shot that down. And then they also have some stuff from that as well. Let's take a look at that. We'll look at the earlier tonight, this is from July 11th, the IDF targeted 3 military posts in Syria in response to the infiltration of a Syrian drone that made it into Israel, was intercepted by the IDF. Here's a little footage of that. I think we've got about 20 seconds of this. This is, whoops, what happens when you enter into Israeli airspace, and then they respond and they blow up military posts in Syria. So, and this was 11 days ago. So there's been some cat and mouse going on back and forth over the last few days in regards to things taking place in and around the Golan Heights. And I think yesterday we even had Israel explaining to Russia, hey, you need to move the Iranians out of there, get them completely out of Syria. Russia says, hey, we'll keep them within 100 kilometers. Israel says, no, we don't want them anywhere in Syria. So if you guys are interested, you can click on this blue bar, click here, sign up for blog posts. You get email alerts anytime something new is released. Enjoy following this kind of stuff. You just type in your email and you'll receive an email response every time something new is published. Then also, if you're interested in various topics, you can scroll down on the right side under the categories, you know, whether you're interested in the Antichrist, the beast, blood red water, aquatic death, creation, culture, earthquakes, volcanoes, lots of different things going on out there. So if you're interested, please feel free to sign up with the blog. Appreciate you watching. Keep your eye on the Golan Heights. Things are escalating. Things are always escalating over there, and there's always some fighting, so it seems to be increasing. Appreciate you guys paying attention and following along. Take care. Bye.